In today's video, we're discussing how to increase the functionality of your foot and make sure that you can begin to walk in a more functional manner. And it can even be great for relieving pain for things like shin splints, maybe some Achilles tendon pain or plantar fasciitis pain. This might be a great place to start. We're going to be talking about this from the perspective of Pete Egoscue's book, Pain Free. This is the revised and updated second edition. And we're talking about the menu for feet on page 70 of that book. Now there are 8 exercises in this routine. The first is sitting heel raises with block. The second is short foot. The third is static back. The fourth is frog. Fifth are foot circles and point flexes. The sixth is a calf and hamstring stretch. The seventh is static extension. And finally, we finish up this menu with air bench. So what is it about this specific sequence of exercises that can help improve the function of your feet? Well, let's get into that a little bit. The first exercise is sitting heel raises with block. And as you can see, we've got sitting down while just lifting up those knees with a block between them. And what you may not be able to tell from the video is that there is almost no pressure on those feet, on those toes when I get to the top. If there was a piece of paper sitting underneath, I could slide it right out. You're not pushing up with the toes, you're lifting from the hip flexors. And the hip flexors are attached at the inside of your femur muscle up in the groin and go all the way to the back, the lumbar muscles attaching through all your lumbar spine. So what we're really accomplishing here is reducing some rotation in the pelvis and the hips while also strengthening and waking up the muscles from the hips down to the toes, getting them all working together. It's a great way to warm up an exercise that is designed to get your feet working more properly. The next exercise is short foot. And with short foot, what we're really working on is getting the toes to strengthening the toes in order to get them more involved with the gait process, meaning that when we walk, our toes should almost grip the ground and they should be pushing off, and they should be strongly pushing off at the end of that gait sequence. And this exercise is teaching them how to do that. At the same time, we're reducing compensations all the way up through the hips and the upper body. As you'll probably be able to feel if you've never done this exercise before, there's going to be a lot of work in those hips. The next exercise in this sequence is static back. And static back is a great way to get the upper body into a single horizontal plane, meaning we're reducing rotation in the hips, pelvis, shoulders, and spine. And why is that good for feet? Well, our feet are like the foundation. If we were comparing our body to like a building, our feet are the foundation of that building. And if you build a house off to the center of the foundation, you're probably going to find that eventually that foundation suffers problems. It might even crack or something along those lines. Or the upper body, the house itself, if it's on the foundation, it's going to start having problems. But having that, the upper body directly over the foundation helps ensure that the feet are given a good chance to do their job. The next exercise in this sequence is frog. Frog is a great way to eliminate rotation in the hips and pelvis while also stretching out the adductor muscles and getting the adductors to work in conjunction with the groin and gluteal muscles. And that's obviously going to be a great thing to do for working with your feet, because if your hips are working right, gives your feet a much, if your hips and pelvis are working right rather, gives your feet a much better shot at being able to do their job right. Now, the first 4 exercises in this sequence have really been about reducing rotation while strengthening. In this next exercise, we are really going to get into the strengthening portion of this at the ankles. With foot circles and point flexes, we're taking the ankles through a full range of motion in every direction it possibly can. And in this supine position, you'll be really surprised how tough it is, especially because you got to go slow. Each rotation should take about 2 full seconds. You'll see a lot of people try to do this exercise and going way too fast, and they're not getting all the work and all the benefit they could be doing out of it. It is deceptively difficult, and If you have trouble with this, you might want to consider the static back position for doing the foot circles to start out with, and over time you can work your way into the supine position. The next exercise in this sequence is the calf and hamstring stretch. This is a two-part exercise. All you need is a strap, and you can start to stretch out those calves, those hamstrings. This is sequenced after the foot circles and points and flexes exercise, because what can often happen after those foot circles is your calves or your hamstrings might tend to cramp up just because all of a sudden they've been placed on a significant demand that hasn't been placed on them in a long time. So this is a great opportunity to stretch out those calves and hamstrings to prevent any cramping as you go through the rest of the sequence. Next, we have static extension. The static extension in this case is really going to be used to strengthen the hips and get the spine into a better alignment and propagate the changes that we've had in the feet and the knees and the hips up through the rest of the spine to prepare your body for being upright for the rest of the day. And the last exercise in this sequence is air bench. What we're really doing here is, in this case, we are strengthening the ankles as a set of gait muscles for the body. And we are preparing them to support the rest of the body upright for the rest of the day. At the same time, we are strengthening the thigh muscles, we're strengthening the hips, we're strengthening the lower back, the pelvis, and we are keeping the upper body in a vertical alignment. And this is going to help, just like in the past couple exercises, prepare your body to be vertical for the rest of the day.